Going live. This is kind of an impromptu live. And for those of you that are members or thinking about becoming a member, I'm going to start doing lives on Tuesdays, I believe at 9 a.m. for my paid community members. More of like a deeper dive and more of like an intimate connection type deal. Oh, I got another approval. But I could have made this into a video, but for some reason I just wanted to go live. Maybe there's going to be somebody on here that can hop on it. We can chat. But I'm getting asked a lot. I know a lot of people are wondering like how to stand out with all the other companies. For people that have been in business for a while, this is a real fear, right? A lot of us old school people, and then there's people that have been in business way longer than me. This is a fear of ours. It's like, how do we keep up? How do we keep our territories? How do we keep our customers? Especially when we're getting new people that are coming in and they are offering the free services. They are lowballing it. Here's the thing is we've all been there. I mean, think back to when you started your business. Think about were your prices high? I know my prices weren't super high. Hold on a second. I have some comments. Rodriguez, hello. Thank you for tuning in. You're wanting to start your business. You're nervous about it. You have all the equipment. Just now, it's all about getting clients and how to do that. Okay, I do want to answer that, but I want to get this, what I wanted to talk about off my chest before I forget, because I'm super like ADD. Last year was a really tough year for me in business, financially, all of it. So I wasn't putting money into advertisement. My head just wasn't in a good place, so I wasn't advertising very well, none of that. And I was very fearful of like where the business was going to go, because it is overwhelming when you have like, there's so much going on, and it's like, how am I going to compete? I can't compete on price. I have overhead. I know what my numbers are. I have people helping me with my numbers. As somebody that has been in business for almost 7 years, I cannot compete on price. I cannot do it for the cheap numbers that the, what are they called? The franchise companies are doing, and then what the newer companies are offering. But here's what I can offer as a company that's been in business for a while, and I've learned. We have to be fast, okay? If other companies are offering things free and cheap, us, if we have a higher price point, we need to be so fast. And that is really what I have been focusing on, is when these folks are reaching out, I am sending them a message. I mean, instantly, right away, as soon as it's coming through. If somebody calls me, I'm answering the phone. I quit doing that for a period of time, because when you grow your business, you're hungry. Like you're so hungry, you want to get it. But then your business, for me, my business got to a certain point where I was comfortable, so I backed off. And that is not, I stopped answering my phone as much. I would not respond back to text messages as quick. But now instantly, when a text message is coming through, because I don't have automation set up. This is the message that I'm sending out. It's thank you so much for your request. Thank you so much for requesting our pooper scooper services. Before I send out your quote, is there anything I should know about your yard? This way, I'm touching base with them right away. And for some of you guys that are using, I think some of you guys are using Sweep and Go, there is an instant quote in there where they put in their information and a quote is sent to them right away. If those people don't move forward and they don't accept it right away, you got to call them. You got to call them. You got to text them. You have to touch base with them, because they're just getting like a blind quote. There's no interaction. There's no human connection there. So when somebody calls me or they send a message, I'm adding a little bit of a personal touch. I've started asking them, well, what made you call me today? What made you decide that you were going to move forward with our services? And I actually put that question on my request form for Jobber. Now I know somebody had knee surgery, somebody's just overwhelmed, somebody just doesn't want to do it, somebody's husband is lazy and he doesn't want to do it. That was actually a comment. That way, when I'm having the conversation, I know what's going on. I know what pain point to speak to, so I'm able to speak their language. And I think it's easy to just kind of try to whip through these really quick, like how many dogs you have, how big is your yard, how long has it been since the last clean, boom, 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 very robotic. And with everything being so automated, I think people do want that, like that personal connection. And I've noticed a huge change in my business. I think I've picked up like 83 or 86 new recurring customers this year so far by having the conversations and having those conversations fast. And I'm a procrastinator. I do procrastinate, which isn't very good. So if you are somebody that's new in business, get started. You got to get started. You got to quit overthinking it, because you're gonna learn as you go. You got to post in those buy, sell, trade groups. If you're not a part of the Poop Scoop Millionaire community, they just recently launched a it's a 100 client challenge. I'm actually, once I'm done with this live, I'm gonna go in there because I want to check it out, because I really gotta get better with my organic Facebook like posting game. I kind of been slipping on that a little bit. Hold on a second. So yeah, if you have to offer those discounted services, you just have to be loud. You have to let people know your service is available. Collect the data if you're giving these services away for free, to be able to get your Google get your like Google reviews, all of that. But when you do start to grow and you realize you have to raise your rates, you have to set yourself apart by over delivering on that customer experience, getting back to them super quick. And in the time when maybe you don't deliver service the best, you fix that fast as well. Like when there's a complaint that comes in, immediately, hey Susan, thank you so much for letting me know. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Were the mist piles peppered all throughout the yard, or was there one specific spot? Then they're telling me what's going on. Then I'm validating their feelings, and then I'm offering a solution. Can we come out there and re-scoop? That way we can figure out where our blind spots are. They're either gonna say, no, I already scooped it. Yeah, that's fine. We go out there, we take care of it, and then we thank them again. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. This is gonna allow us to be better and be able to serve you better moving forward. And then sometimes people are just really nasty and they freak out, and it is what it is. But I always just try to validate how they feel, because that's how they feel. They think we suck. Okay, they think we suck. That sucks, but it is what it is. So there's that. I just wanted to get that off my chest. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to read your comments. And I hope this little, whatever this was, helps. So, okay. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Well, hello, good morning. I appreciate you tuning in. This is really kind. We have Trevor from South Africa. That's crazy. How's business going over there? Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it. It says, I look like, I can't pronounce that word. I'm so sorry, but I'll have to look that up. Yeah, appreciate you guys. And then is it correct that summer months are very slow getting new clients? Yeah. Yes. Here's why. There's a lot of variables. People go on vacation, and when people go on vacation, they usually take their dog. So their dog goes on vacation, so the dogs aren't there as much. Also, when it's really hot, this is going to sound weird, but dogs don't eat as much when it's super hot out, so therefore they're not pooping as much. I learned this through my friend that owns a pet store. She was saying that dog food sales go down because the dogs aren't eating as much. And then also dogs are going on vacation. So it all kind of goes with it. So there's that aspect. And then a lot of people are in their backyard, so they're like, I'm back here, I might as well just scoop it up. Then you have the people that are having yard work done. They're getting a pool installed. They're getting new sod. They're having fertilizer laid. They're getting, you name it, whatever. So they want to pause service. When that happens, if somebody's like, oh, I'm getting yard work done, I'm getting stuff done, I'm going to have to pause service, say, oh, great, are you going to be moving the dog to the front yard? We also do front yard scoops. So offer that, okay? That's something that I actually started doing this past month. Hope that helps. But yeah, it will slow down. It'll slow down and then it'll pick back up, let's say, when the kids go back to school, like September-ish, October. Okay, you got Jobber. You don't have a website yet. You're waiting on your logo to be done. Yeah, you should start. With all of those being done, with all that stuff being done yet. Yeah, you definitely should start. Here's the thing. You already have Jobber. And so I imagine you set that up. And I actually just recorded a bunch of videos for Jobber, not for Jobber, but tutorials going through Jobber, and I'll be posting those actually very soon. In the settings, there's two links. There's one link where you put your Jobber request form on your website, and then there's another link where you can manually send that to people to have them fill out your request form. So what I would do is I would take a hard look at your Facebook. I look at your profile picture, look at what your profile looks like. If it's not very good, clean it up, okay? Do that. I had to go through and I had to clean up some of my profile pictures from like back in my clubbing days when I was little. I was a little wild, but they were, you know, I had some photos on there that wouldn't make, let's say, a mom very comfortable, you know? So I was like, I gotta delete that stuff out. I cleaned up that Facebook, I did all of that, and then that's what I used to post in the buy, sell, trade groups. Do that stuff as well, but also just get yourself a very simple business card made and go out to the local businesses that are dog related and just start introducing yourself. This does take time. I did all of this because I didn't have money when I got started. And it takes time, but you want to build those connections and you want to get those business cards and you want to get your Facebook business page built up. Yeah. If you don't have money to put in an advertisement, you don't have a website yet, it's going to be slower growth. I'll be super transparent with you. It will be slower growth, but you can still grow. It's just going to be slower. And then what was I going to say with that Jobber? Oh, if people respond back to you online to whatever your ad copy is or whatever you're posting, you got to make sure that it's something that like people are going to, it's going to slow the scroll. People are going to pay attention. And if they want to inquire about your service, you can send them your Jobber link that directs them to your onboarding form. Yeah. To knock on doors, should I have some type of flyer before I go knock on doors? For beginning, how I should make them, phone number, email, should be fine. Okay, so for door knocking, you wanna have your little jig. You were gonna wanna have your, your little elevator pitch when you knock on the door. And on the flyer, keep it very simple. Who you are, what you do, and how to get in touch with you. That's it. Very, very simple. And when you're dressed in a uniform, even if you don't have branded shirts, whatever your color is, if you chose green, you chose purple, whatever, purple shirt, a nice pair of pants, a hat, look professional. And when you knock on somebody's door, if you step on their porch, my brother actually taught me this because my brother did door-to-door sales for a meat company. When you knock on the door, step off the porch. You don't want to be all up in their space. So knock on the door. And when you're walking up to the door, have a smile on your face because everybody has a Ring camera. So have a smile on your face, knock on the door, and when you're standing there, keep your smile on your face. And when they answer, hey, how's it going? I don't actually have a jig for answering doors because I don't knock doors. This is something that I actually want to do this summer. But I would do that, have your elevator pitch. And if they don't have a dog, what about your neighbors? Does your neighbor have a dog? Is there any issues with like dog poop over there? Like when you have your windows open, do you like smell it? You know, well, if you know anybody, or if you see anybody online, I'm a new small business owner. I'm just trying to create awareness about my small pooper scooper business. I would really love to help keep your neighborhood poop free, something like that. Hand them your flyer of who you are, what you do, and how to get in touch with you. Brad says, good morning, Erica. I will only refer clients to you if they are out of my service area. And as a startup north, I have my prices set very close to yours as to keep the industry standards. Where are you at up north? Are you by the, like Traverse City, Grand Rapids, Muskegon? I actually used to have a Muskegon location once upon a time. Me and Jessica ran it, and she lives in Muskegon, and then she took it over. She's doing a really good job up there. But thank you for referring clients to me. I truly appreciate that. Thank you. You're awesome too. I appreciate it. How do you fill out the contact form? Wait, I can't read, you guys. How do you fill out the contract for the year or monthly subscription for Jobber? I think it should just be in your Jobber. Like if you did the 2-week trial, it should prompt you to either pick the, I don't remember. I got Jobber a real long time ago, so I'm not exactly too sure how that works. But through the CRM, you should be able to do all of your payments right through there. And if any of you want to try Jobber, after this live is over, I'll put my special link down in the comments. You'll get a discount, and then I will also get a kickback, and that helps support the YouTube channel and the podcast, which is greatly, greatly appreciated. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been pumping out a ton of content recently, and I would not be able to do that if I didn't have my editor. She's an editor and my assistant for the social media, because I was struggling. I was struggling so much. Oh, okay. You're in Livingston. Okay, you're in Howell. You're not even that far. We have to link up, because I get questions for Brighton sometimes. South Lyon. South Lyon's a little too far for me until I get another scooper. Tony from Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. I have a couple of cousins that live in Texas. They live by, like, it's called Eugene. I think that's what it's called. And then Department of Duty. He's out in Dallas, Texas. Where can you see my pricing at? You can't see my pricing because I have it hidden. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is right now. Because I made things a little bit more simple because I needed to. Because I got rid of my virtual assistant for the actual poop scooping business. Because I needed to put more money into advertisement. I needed to cut my overhead because I was getting too top heavy. So I adjusted my prices. A small yard, which is 1/8 of an acre or less, for every other week, I'm charging $100. A small yard weekly scoop, I'm charging $120 a month. Twice a week, I'm charging $200 a month. And then 3 times a week, I'm charging $260 per month. That's all for a small yard. And my medium-sized yards are priced, they're ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want them. I don't want them because they're just big. So here they are. A medium, I have it priced for $170 for every other week. Weekly is $200 per month. Medium size yard twice a week is $260, and medium yard 3 times a week is $320. For a seasonal clean one time, this is going to be about 5 months worth of waste. I'm charging $120. A medium size yard is $170, and a large yard is $195. If somebody wants to sign up for recurring service with me, I give them the initial cleaning, seasonal cleaning, whatever you want to call it, for $79.99. So I discount it as long as they're signing up for a recurring service. And that's my prices right now. The approval is going pretty well. The approval is going pretty good. I'm having a pretty good conversion rate, which is nice. I have family in Iowa, Tony. Where do they live? I don't know, like 45 minutes from Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, Brad. Yeah, we'll have to exchange information because I have a copy and paste right here. So when people, why is that so big? Hold on, let me pull it up. When people send in a request and it's outside of my service area, I have this copy and paste that says, "Hi, thank you for your interest in Kroopin, Poopin, Scoopin. Unfortunately, you're outside of my service area. Here is a company that might be able to cover your location." And I have 3 of them here, and I can add yours to my list as well. So I can just send that out. Because here's the thing, is even though I can't help the customer, I still want to be able to facilitate them finding another scooper, because I just think that that's really good customer service. And so they'll be like, "Oh, you know what? She couldn't help me, but she was still really nice." So maybe eventually they might refer me out, or maybe they'll move into my service area or something. I don't know. But yeah, I can add you to that. Okay. Hello, Texas. How hot is it there? It's cold here. I had to put my long jacket on. Yep. All right. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me. That's all I really wanted to talk about today. I really wanted to just talk about how, if you can't compete on price, what other aspects of the business you can compete on. And it's really focusing on the people. It's getting back to them quick and listening to the market. I mean, my prices got a little too high. It's because my overhead was too high. And the market told me, "Nah, girl, we're not doing that. We're not paying that." So I was like, okay, we'll adjust them down. So, all right, I appreciate you. What am I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go over to the Poop Scoop Millionaire and look through that 100 client course that they have, because like I said, I got to step my game up on Facebook, because I have a local competitor. Dude, she's killing it. I see her stuff pop up all over the place, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Get out of my territory." But I like it. I need the competition. It's good for me because I get a little bit I don't know, complacent. So it's good to kind of have somebody rev me up a little bit. Okay, so you're still trying to get your first scoop. Well, how long you been in business for? And what are you doing? How are you trying to get these customers? What does your ad copy look like? And yeah, the real Michael Myers, consistency. Consistency is huge. All right. Scoopy's pet waste removal. You've been in business for 3 weeks. Okay. You're brand new. Do you have any friends or family that would let you scoop for them? Even if it's for free, just to get some pictures. You just need a couple pictures, and you need to time yourself. You need to figure out how long it takes you to even scoop a yard, and see if they'll give you the testimonial and do that whole thing, give you the Google review. I'm happy that I could inspire you. You know, people, I don't know. This whole thing is just crazy to me. I think about this quite often. You know, when I was working at U of M, because I used to work at U of M in the hospital, I worked midnights. I worked all the shifts, to be super transparent. I hated my job. I hated going in there. I would say that I was a terrible employee. And I just knew that I needed to try something different. So I mean, I tried a variety of different jobs, just trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then I started this poop scooping business, and it was crazy. I mean, everybody around me thought that I was losing my mind, and my husband was so supportive. He's like, "Yeah, do it." So he's been my number one supporter since literally day one. And when I left the hospital that day, I had an Android phone, and I was like, I'm just gonna record. I'm just gonna record the journey. I don't know why. I don't know why I really started doing it. I don't know if it was because it was like kind of therapy for me. I was lonely. But I'm so happy that I stayed consistent and I recorded the journey, because there's so many people that I've been able to connect with and inspire. And I've been inspired by seeing your stories, and I love it. I love that you guys are able to get into this business and get into this industry and change your life like it's changed my life. It's like I can't believe I'm flying to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho to give a presentation at Scoopin. What? And this has been like a dream of mine for years. And I'm like, it's happening. But it's like, if I wouldn't have posted that video and kept going, even the times when I didn't want to keep going, you know, because I'm like, nobody cares. Nobody's listening. Nobody's watching these videos. Like, nobody cares. I'm glad that I pushed through. I say all that to say, when you're posting for your business and posting on social media, it's going to feel like nobody's watching, and it's going to feel like nobody cares. But you just have to stay consistent, and you have to stay in front of people, because they'll reach out to you when they need you. It might be crickets for quite some time. Just like I was scooping for this one guy, and his neighbor behind him, he'd be scooping his dog poop. And he's like, I can't believe people pay to have this cleaned up. Like, I do it for myself every time the dog goes poop, or when he goes to mow the grass. He had a stroke, and his wife came out and see me scooping, and she asked if I could come scoop the yard while her husband was in the hospital. You know? Stuff like that. I stayed consistent. I always said hi. I always waved, even though he would just shake his head at me. And they appreciated the service. When he got out of the hospital, he was right back to it. You know, I don't know. I have no idea what happened to them. The customer I was scooping for fired me because I raised his bill $5 a month. What can you do? It's all good. Not going to worry about it. So yeah. CA Project Designers. Hello, hi friend. I am an OG. It's crazy to think. It's nuts. You're a pillar of the community and industry. Own it. Yeah. I am. I don't know. I think about it. You know, it's funny, like when I tell the kids, I'm like, oh, I'm flying out, I'm going to give a presentation. They're like, you? For what? I'm like, it's just funny because I don't know how to explain it. I'm just very grateful, and God, yeah, yes. God is why I did it. He has been blessing me, and then I'm able to bless folks. I was at a, what was it called? Entrepreneur Academy. Brian Fullerton is a local landscaper, YouTuber, and he has an event, and I've went to a lot of his events. And one thing he really said that stuck out to me was, who wins when you succeed? Who wins when you succeed? And that really stuck to me, because it's like, there's a lot of times where I wanted to give up. Like last year, I'm telling you what, if somebody would have given me $1 to take my business off my plate, I would have, because I just hated it. I hated all of it. All the feelings, all the car accidents, dealing with workman's comp, dealing with the dog bites, dealing with all of it. I'm like, you can't give up. You got to push through. You just got to keep going. And I wasn't picking up customers last year like I wanted to. I'm like, this sucks, dude. But this year's been so different because I knew I needed to make some changes and I had to have that conversation with myself. And we have so much awesome advice now. It's just a matter of taking the advice that is out there and actually implementing it. And like, who was it that said it? Let me go back. The real Michael Myers, consistency. You just got to show up every day. You have to be super consistent. Even when nobody's clapping, even when nobody's commenting. I'll tell you, spell something wrong. They'll comment. They'll let you know that you spelled something wrong. It happens to me all the time. Yeah. Nothing changes if nothing changes. It's true. Sometimes I ask my husband, I'm like, have I changed a lot since we got together? And he's like, oh yeah. I'm like, has it been hard to like relearn me? I don't even know if he answered. He might not have answered that question. Maybe he did and I wasn't paying attention, but so. All right, I'm gonna get out of here because I do need to practice my presentation. I hopefully will have it practiced 40 to 50 times before I give it. I wanna be able just to, I don't wanna look at any notes. I just want to be like, wow, here it is. Here it is. I thank you. I appreciate you for hanging out with me. And we will be chatting soon. And if you want to join my paid community, I'm going to be doing lives every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those are just for you guys. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, we're going to do deep dives. And because it's not going to be open to the public, we can get more personal. We can do a little bit of a deeper dive. Because I know having those sensitive conversations when anybody can see the content and anybody can see the question, it is a bit vulnerable. So that's why I think having these smaller communities is pretty cool. So, I don't know. Thank you guys.